The battlefield was quiet now. Smoke still drifted from shattered ridges, the smell of burned alloys and scorched earth clinging to every breath. The bodies had already been collected, at least the ones whose sides claimed victory here. Sergeant Daniel Reeve crouched near the wreckage of a heavy exosuit, his rifle strapped across his back. His hands were slick with grease as he worked at a twisted seam, pulling away fragments of melted plating. Inside the ruined shell, an alien stirred. The creature was tall, taller than Reeve even in its slouched state, and covered in overlapping plates of chitin that shimmered like obsidian glass. Pale light glimmered from his wounds, pulsing through the cracks in his armor. Reeve had seen their kind before, though rarely this close. The Pterics, humanity's enemies. And yet this one was still alive. Reeve knew he should finish the job. One squeeze of his pistol, one sharp strike of the knife, and the war would be one breath closer to ending. That was what the manual said. That was what his commanders would expect. But he couldn't. Something in the alien's eyes, round, faintly glowing, too human in their trembling focus, made his trigger finger freeze. Instead, he muttered, "Hold still. This weld's jammed." The Pterics blinked at him, confusion widening his gaze. Beginning, the enemy soldier. Reeve pried open the plating and reached into the torn mechanisms. Sparks bit at his gloves. The exosuit's servos twitched beneath his hands, like the dying nerves of a wounded beast. The alien rasped something in its own language, then switched, haltingly, into broken English, its words thick with strain. "You mend?" Reeve grunted. "Trying to. Looks like your suit's feeding on itself. Can't move if this thing locks shut." The Pterics stared at him as though this were madness, which in fairness it was. "You are human. Last I checked. Human does not mend enemy." Reeve ignored him, working faster. "Guess this one does." Minutes passed. The wind howled through the wreckage of the battlefield. Somewhere in the distance, distant artillery thudded like an angry heartbeat. Finally, with a snap and hiss, the plate slid back into place, releasing pressure on the alien's chest. The creature exhaled a sound like a shuddering sigh. Its claws trembled as it touched the repaired seam. And then, in a voice low and raw, it said, "This is the first time a human has touched me." Middle, the confession. Reeve looked up, startled. The alien's eyes were wet, though he didn't know if that meant tears or something else. "No one, no human, ever touched Pterics except to kill," the alien whispered. "Your hand did not strike." Reeve's throat tightened. For years, humans had been fed a single narrative. The Pterics were merciless predators, their armies marching from one star to another, leaving nothing but ruin. You don't talk to them. You don't touch them. You shoot first or you die. But now, kneeling in the dirt beside this trembling soldier, Reeve felt the wall of propaganda crack. "What's your name?" Reeve asked quietly. The alien hesitated, then clicked his mandibles. "Varen." "I'm Reeve." He offered the name like a truce. Varen lowered his gaze, as if speaking it aloud was dangerous.
"Reeve. Why?"
"Why not kill?" Reeve could only shake his head. "I don't know. Maybe I'm tired of killing." The silence between them stretched, heavy but not hostile. Varen's breathing slowed. With one claw, he touched the weld again, then his chest, as if memorizing the shape of mercy. "Your kind fights to destroy us," he said. "But do you even know why?" Reeve frowned. "Because you tried to wipe us out." "No," Varen's voice hardened. "We were driven to war. We begged for talks. We begged to share. But your high command refused. They wanted only conquest, only fear." Reeve froze. "That's not what we were told." Varen gave a broken laugh. Then both our leaders lie. Turning point, the ambush. The moment fractured with a sharp whistle through the air. Mortars slammed into the nearby ridge. Dirt and shrapnel rained down. Reeve instinctively shielded Varen with his own body, even before he realized what he was doing. When the barrage ended, both were alive, but not alone. A squad of human soldiers crested the ridge, rifles raised. Reeve recognized the insignia, 14th Terran Infantry. His own division. Sergeant Reeve, the lieutenant barked. Step away from the target. That's an enemy combatant. Reeve's heart thundered. He could already see the outcome. Varen executed on the spot, just another corpse added to the tally. He stood slowly, hands raised. Sir, this one's wounded. He's no threat. No threat. The lieutenant sneered. He's a Terex. They burned half of Titan Base last month. Orders are clear. No prisoners. Behind him, Varen struggled to stand, his repaired armor groaning with the effort. His eyes locked on Reeve's. Not with fear. With resignation. Like someone who already knew how the story ended. Unless Reeve changed it. Middle climax, the choice. Reeve stepped in front of Varen. His voice rang louder than he intended. Stand down. He's not our enemy, not anymore. The squad froze. Every rifle barrel now aimed at Reeve instead. You've lost it, Sergeant, the lieutenant growled. Step aside, or I'll have you court-martialed for treason. Reeve's breath came fast. He thought of every propaganda reel, every speech about humanity's greatness, every story painting the Terex as monsters. And he thought of Varen's trembling voice. This is the first time a human has touched me. What did it mean to be human? To follow orders? Or to choose compassion? Reeve squared his shoulders. If you want him dead, you'll have to go through me. A tense silence. The soldiers shifted, uncertain. The lieutenant's face twisted with fury, but before he could speak, another sound split the air. Gunfire. Not from the humans. From the ridge beyond. Terex raiders poured down, drawn by the commotion. Energy blasts scorched the dirt, forcing the humans into cover. The squad scattered. In the chaos, Reeve turned to Varen. Can you fight? Varen's mandibles clicked, almost like a grin. With you? Yes. Ending, the bond forged. Back to back, human and alien fought as one. Reeve's rifle spat fire while Varen's repaired exosuit roared to life, its energy blades cleaving through attackers. It was madness. It was impossible. Yet in those frantic minutes, it felt right. Not enemies. Not monsters. Just soldiers, fighting to survive. At last, the Terex raiders fell back, retreating into the haze. The battlefield was quiet once more. Reeve slumped against the wreckage, his chest heaving. Beside him, Varen leaned on his damaged armor, black ichor dripping from his wounds. You saved me, Varen whispered. You saved me first, Reeve replied. Varen tilted his head, studying him. Perhaps this is what our leaders fear most. What's that? That human and Terex might fight together, instead of against. Reeve chuckled, despite himself. Guess we just proved them right. Varen extended a clawed hand. Slowly, carefully, Reeve reached out and clasped it. The alien trembled again, but this time it wasn't from fear. First time a human touched me, Varen said softly. Not the last. Reeve nodded, gripping tighter. Not the last. For the first time since the war began, hope stirred in his chest.